All right, and we should be on. Hi, guys.
Hi everyone.
Good evening. Hope you guys had a nice weekend, that your new week is off to a good start. Even though I think most of us were expecting just to be a little freer, starting, next week with the new decree. It doesn't seem like it, but that's all right.
No, it doesn't seem very different, but it's better than nothing, maybe. I don't
Yeah, I mean, I
know.
guess we can now go to the park. That's like one nice thing.
Mm,
And you can even kind of take a bit of like longer walks. But it is funny though. I feel like some of the like you can't do certain things, but you can like there's no limit to like how much you can walk, for example. So I don't know. Like you could just say, "Oh, I'm just taking a walk," right? Like I don't
yeah,
know.
it's so very hard to know until it happens. They might not enforce it. I don't know.
That's what I feel like is they're kind of doing. Like they just have to take this hard line approach. But
Yeah,
I mean, even in terms of like the like police, like I mean, I haven't seen them around. I don't know if it's
mm,
my neighborhood, but I also, I've been seeing people just kind of chilling, like just sitting on the bench, just hanging out. Like it's no big
yeah.
deal.
I think it's been so long, people can't do it. I've noticed more and more people are out and about, and they probably don't need to be. But
Yeah.
I don't think we should go back to normal anyway.
No,
So
no, no, definitely not. Yeah. No, for me, I was just mostly hoping I could just kind of go somewhere else, which I guess I could now. I mean, as long as I'm not using public transportation or anything. I mean, as long as I can go to the park, just get some sun, that's all I need. Just a little bit of sunlight. I just can't take it
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Um, cool. All right, so we got a few people saying hello here. So we got Clara from Parma joining us. Welcome, Clara. Gianni from Padova, and Gennaro, who I don't think I've met before.
I
Um,
have I've had a webinar with
you've had
Gennaro.
Gennaro. Cool. So do you remember where he's from?
I think no, maybe the south. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Naples, but it
Cool.
probably isn't.
Yeah, the name Gennaro, I feel like it tends to be more popular in
Maybe that's why
southern
I'm thinking
Italy.
it. But anyway,
So let us know. Let us know if Sean was right, Gennaro. Where are you from? And that's it. Well, you guys, well, you probably know us, but just some really brief intros here. I'm Thiago. You can see my name there. 29, live in Milan. I've been working for my yes since 2016. I'm from Brazil, and I grew up in California.
and I'm Sean. I'm 21. I'm Irish, and I've worked in the same school as Thiago since September.
Exactly. And also Sergio joining us from Bologna. Welcome. Cool. All right, guys, and also let us know how you guys are all doing. Now it's no, it's been pretty much 2 months since we've all been on lockdown. I think. How are you guys holding up? Do you have any plans? I mean, is your life going to change at all next week? I mean, there are going to be some very small kind of lifting of the restrictions, but is your life going to be the same? So just let us know a little bit. Sean, one thing I wanted to actually tell you, I just remembered. So I've been trying to master the art of making potatoes, which I know you're very
Oh.
good at.
Yes, I
Uh,
spoke about that at length one day, I remember.
yeah, yeah. So I've been like soaking them now. Like I've been reading online. You
Oh,
can even add a little bit of cornstarch to make it crispy.
oh,
They're finally coming out better.
yeah, great. I'm glad to hear you. There's all kinds of tricks. I like to use stock with mine, get a bit of flavor going through.
Really?
But
Like well,
yeah, that
you
sounds
boil it
interesting.
in stock.
Hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, in stock.
Yeah, so far I've been mostly making it in the oven, but so I'll try some new approaches soon. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's been the most
Great.
fun part of the quarantine for me, just like
I'm
cooking.
very, very proud.
Yeah, I have pictures. I'll
More
send you
people
pictures
should eat
later.
potatoes. Great.
So, all right, guys. So, while you let us know how you guys are doing, we're just gonna jump right in here. We're talking about slang today. So it should be, it should be pretty useful, especially for understanding spoken language. When you listen to native speakers, one of the biggest challenges is to be able to keep up with slang and just understand what's going on, even for native speakers, because I mean, slang can be very regional as well. So it's not always the same. So
Mhm.
anyway, Sean, what exactly are we looking at today here?
Yes, so we're looking at slang greetings, responses, and descriptive words, and how you use those words and phrases. Yeah, so
Hmm.
very often, kind of greetings, responding to greetings, these are the contexts we use slang.
Exactly. Cool. Johnny says, my life will not change next week after the recent modifications. All right. Yeah, I don't think, yeah, mine won't either. And I was telling Sean before, I can maybe go to the park. And that's like the one thing I'm kind of looking forward to doing. Just like, I'm not like a runner really, but I'm just like dying just to do anything outside. So I'll do that, making
Mm.
sure to, follow all the protocols and distancing,
Yeah.
whatever. And
Mhm.
Clara, yeah, oh, great. There you go. So I'm excited because I can run outside next week. I've been training, going ups and downs in my. So you've been going up and down the stairs in my building for almost 2 months. Fresh air is what I need. Exactly. Yeah,
Oh.
that's the thing. The air in Milan has never been cleaner. I want to be able to actually breathe it.
Yeah, it hasn't, and we can't enjoy
Yeah.
it.
So I am looking forward to that as well. So, all right, guys. So we're going to start with three basic questions. So, what is slang? When is slang appropriate? And when is it inappropriate? So, what do you think? Especially maybe questions 2 and 3. Don't worry so much about one. I think that's pretty obvious. Funny enough, though, apparently it means short language. That's where it comes from.
Oh, that's new
Yeah.
for me,
And then you shorten it and it becomes slang. So,
Hmm,
yeah.
yeah.
So, what do you think, Sean? So, based on your experience, also because I think also in terms of it being appropriate or inappropriate, it can depend very much on the context, depends on the country, maybe the culture of your
Mm.
specific town. Uh, so, what do you think? When is slang appropriate, generally speaking, for you?
Um, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think more and more we are integrating slang into a lot of contexts. I think, in the past, it was much stricter when you could or couldn't use slang. I think now we like to be more informal, even in work, even in education, because we realize that it's better for making connections. But I still think that in situations like job interviews or presenting yourself, we tend to try and be quite aspirational and proper, and we don't really use slang in those contexts.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'm not sure. Is it different in America?
No, I think it's the same. I mean, I feel like in general, I mean, definitely in the US, slang is really common. I mean, we're not like such like formal people, are we? Like,
Mm.
it's more, I think, and we've touched on this several times in these webinars, especially in the business ones. How for us, it's much more about politeness sometimes than formality or the kind of language that you use. For example, slang is something common. You might even hear in business context. It's not that big a deal. Marketing uses a lot of slang. So if you're looking at adverts and things, you see a lot of this. Um, and it's something that I feel is very easily adopted by other countries and other languages as well. I see lots of
Mm.
English slang being, especially nowadays with influencers and kind of Instagram and memes, etc. I see a lot of English
Mm.
slang being used in other languages too.
Yeah, something that's been a big, big thing in Ireland for years is that we are adopting kind of your slang, I guess, because all the television, all the films comes
Hmm.
from Southern California, and we've adopted those ways of speaking, and certainly some of the older generation is skeptical about it, but I know for a fact people in my generation use very American slang terms.
Yeah. Yeah, because of course TV is a huge one, and I think especially, I mean, Netflix has been a huge force in kind of bringing everyone together. Because I mean, before there were some restrictions. I mean, there were certain shows that were broadcast, in the U.S., and then if it were, I don't know, if it were like popular enough or it could generate enough of a profit, it would maybe be brought to another country. But nowadays, it's always available everywhere. So people are also, they have maybe more access to it. But at the same time, I also think streaming services like Netflix, they have also made Americans more aware of other contexts, other cultures, productions from other places. So I think it's a bit of a two-way street as well. Okay, so let's see. We got a few answers here. So yeah, Johnny, great. Yeah, informal speech. That's definitely what slang is. Claudia, further, she says, so slang is appropriate in an informal speech. Maybe you don't need un here, in informal speech. When you meet guys who are your friends or are old as you are. Yes, Clara, let me just a small correction because I see a misunderstanding of this often is the word guys. So you can certainly use the word guys, but if you're using it when we're talking kind of in the third person, we're talking about young men, pretty much always. Okay. But when I'm using in the second person, if I'm saying you guys, then you can use it even if it's girls, women. But if you say when you meet guys, then in my understanding, in my head, you're saying when I meet young men. Whereas maybe you just want to say when you meet people. And so just a small clarification there. But good comment. Let's see. Sergio was answering from before the lockdown. I used to go running. So next week I'm going to do some sport activities. Very nice. It's inappropriate in a formal context, for example, university, during an interview, or if we're speaking with a client. Yeah, but again, I think as we're saying before, these are some good general guidelines, but I can totally see how even during an interview, you could use slang and you could get away with it fine. It would depend, I think, what kind of job you're applying for. Maybe if you, I don't know, in a law firm, less so. But I don't know, interviewing to be a teacher MIS, I don't see a problem. It would be totally fine. Could even add personality to your, to yourself. It can actually help you in some ways.
Yeah, I think certainly a lot of it has to do with the person you're speaking to. A lot their age, but also I don't know if this is the case in America, but their class, their social background has a lot to do with what kind of language you use in Ireland. If you met a very posh or sophisticated person, you wouldn't use slang. Whereas if you met a working class person or someone you perceive to be working class, you would use slang. And if you didn't, you wouldn't really be able to connect to them very well.
Oh, that's funny. And yeah, in the US, I certainly wouldn't say class plays a big factor. I mean, I find it really hard in the US to actually be able to tell anyone's class.
Yeah. No,
Um,
completely different.
People don't, I don't know. I mean, in Ireland, do they tend to like dress or behave a certain way if they belong to a certain class?
I don't know. I mean, you can tell the second you meet someone.
Really?
It's the influence of the British. It's even more
Hmm.
intense in Britain. Certain vocabulary is different. Certain turns of phrase. I mean, wealthy people would have their own slang, but they wouldn't use it with everyone. They'd use it amongst themselves. Whereas working class people just use slang as their everyday language with everyone they meet.
Oh, I see. That's funny. Yeah, for me, I would think maybe just more like groups, maybe that you identify with. You could see. I mean, I can see how there is some sometimes like racial differences in the language that you use, some specific slang that are used by people who belong to a certain, yeah, like race. I guess I would say, But also, I mean, there's certain contexts. I mean, like gay culture. I mean, there's a like very specific slang as well, and within those groups, like yeah, maybe other people wouldn't even understand what's being said. Um, but not so much class. At least not that. I don't think so. Yeah. Okay, let's see. We got Johnny says, I reckon that slang is appropriate with friends and some colleagues. Those you know very well. There you go. Yeah. And Sergio, I think if you feel comfortable with slang, you can use it both informal. That's a good point, Sergio. Yeah, you got to be comfortable with it as well, because tone is really important. Sometimes you might know a word and you know when it's used, but like, do you know how to deliver it? Do you know, like, you know, where, how to emphasize it? Because then you might actually make a big mistake. And that's, yeah, because we use some bad words as slang, but depending on how you say it, it's fine. So, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes people will use slang to seem more cool or interesting, and it's just painful if they're clearly not saying it from a place of familiarity.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. So let's move on. Gonna look at some examples now. Of course, we got the classic, you know, hello, how are you? But I mean, people say it. But what are some different ways we can greet people? So kind of hello, goodbye, and how do you respond to those greetings? So what do you know about our culture regarding this? And it's changing so much too, right? I mean, I feel like the current slang. I mean, I've been living here since 2013, so it's been 7 years now. So some of the language being used, I mean, on social media, like by like the like younger people, like people who are in like high school or like just started college now. Sometimes I have to go and look up what they're saying. Like sometimes understanding a meme, you know, it's like, wait, what is this?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I feel the same. And with social media, young people on social media, they have their whole world, their whole language.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see here. Clara, yeah, what's up? Huge one. Um, yeah, it's good also to talk about how we respond to what's up. So if someone says, what's up? What do you think, Sean? What's a good response?
It's not the thing I would ever say. What's up? I, I'm fine. I don't know. Should you be saying something else?
Oh,
Nothing
really?
much.
Cause yeah, I would say nothing much, or even just what's up.
Yeah.
Because I notice with students, a lot of the times when they say what's up, they say, "Oh, I'm good, I'm fine." But really, what you're asking is, "What's new?" I mean, what I don't know, like what is there? Like tell me something, right? Like what's new with your life? What's going on? What's up?
Mhm.
So I think yeah, nothing much is a big one, or just what's up? Yo, what's up? What's up? Or sup? Keep it really short. It's really big in California. I mean, in the U.S. in general, but I remember growing up, like what's up is a huge one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this is a nice one as well, Johnny. How's it going? Yeah, how's it going? And we even tend to kind of drop that G in the end there, keep it more casual. How's it going? How are things? Yeah, I feel like this could maybe be a bit more British. I don't know. How do you feel about this one, Sean? How are things?
Yeah, how are things? Yeah, it's quite a English middle class thing to say.
Yeah,
How
I
are
wouldn't.
things?
Yeah,
But
in the U.S., I don't think I've really come across like how are things, but but I've seen it on
oh,
TV.
Clara has the Irish example. Wonderful. What's the crack? Any crack. I'm very pleased that somebody has retained that at some point. Yeah, I know, crack means fun in the Irish language, so it means any fun, anything interesting.
So is it like what's up, basically?
Yeah, no, it's like what's going on in your life. And any crack,
Ah,
you'd
yeah.
say, oh no, nothing much. It's the same.
Oh, cool. So Clara, yes, no, it would not be fine, well, etc. So either you would say nothing much, or you could say, see, Johnny has a good also. You can also say, Yeah, same old. As in, there is nothing up. It's just everything is the same. I think, especially in this period. What's up? Same old, same old. Yeah, so you can say what's up back. You can say same old, same old. You can say nothing much. Those I would say, or you could actually tell people what is up if there's anything new. But another thing to kind of keep in mind, even when people ask you how are you, oftentimes we don't mean it. I mean, it's not even necessarily that we're not interested in knowing, but it's just that it's just part of hello. So we usually just kind of expect people just say, "Oh, how are you? Oh, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?" It's always good. You're not really asking how they are, but it's fine. I mean, if you want to tell them how you are or you want to tell them what's up, that's okay. I actually prefer it because then the conversation can actually go somewhere. Otherwise, you're just what's up, what's up. Yeah, it is a bit pointless, but it's good to just be aware of it. Sergio says, "Are you well?" Hmm. I don't know. This one doesn't feel
You
as
know, the
natural to
thing, we
me.
don't teach slang the way we use it. You know, this is the thing you find with students in this lesson. We don't teach this stuff. This is wonderful language, totally correct. Would I say it? Probably not.
Yeah. Are you well? I feel like
In a
it's almost
greeting
like I would
context, we
say it in
just
a
use
derogatory manner. Like if it's like, "Are you well?" Like, "Are you okay?"
really.
If they say something insane, but not even well, maybe, "Are you okay?" "Are you okay?" I don't know. Yeah, but
No,
it's
I would
so it
be very
varies so
apprehensive
much.
with someone if I said, "Are you well?" You know, I'm not comfortable with them if I say this personally.
Wait, Johnny has one I have never heard before. But I guess how you cutting?
This is Irish again.
Oh, is it? How you cutting? What does
You
that
guys
mean?
must have seen this class with Irish teachers. It's not how you cutting, this is important. How is she cutting? How's she cutting?
How is
It
she?
means how are things? What's up? Yes. And she, I will explain this. It's a rural Irish thing. She is, I think, the horse or the cow that's cutting with the plow. How is she cutting? How are things going? So that's the meaning. It's very, very Irish. I
Ah,
think you can't use this with anyone who isn't Irish. Even some Irish people would be surprised to hear you say this, but I really like it. How is she cutting?
that's really funny. At least for me, like when I think of the word cut, like if say someone is cut, we're talking that they have like a very good, like their body is really nice, like very muscular. It's like, oh, he's like super cut.
Really?
Yeah, someone is cut.
I didn't
Like
know
they
that.
have abs, like muscles, like very cut. Yeah.
I
So
haven't
see,
heard of
guys,
that
it's all
one.
over the place. I mean, it really depends on the context. It changes a lot from place to place. So yeah, here we have some greetings. I think you guys got most of these and beyond, actually. Sean, do you want to read those greetings?
So, hey, what's up? How's it going? What are you up to? What's new? All right. That one's English. I had to
That's
do it in
so
an
English,
English
right?
accent. Yeah, it just
Exactly.
means, it doesn't mean are you all right? It means hello.
Exactly. Um, and then some responses here. Yeah, see, nothing much or not much, not bad, just chilling, just hanging out. Same old, same old. Yeah, so you guys touched on a lot of these. If anything is not clear, just let us know. So let's try to translate these sentences here into slang. So here, let's just alternate. I'll read one, you read one, Sean. So one, we have good morning. How are you?
It's a pleasure to see you. What have you been doing lately?
I am well. I haven't done anything new or exciting recently.
I'm fine. I'm not doing anything in particular.
Ah, look at Clara. Great. These guys are doing a great job here. I'm grand. Yeah, I hear Kyle say that a lot.
Yeah. Do you understand what Cahill means when he says I'm grand? because a lot of Americans don't.
Oh, I don't know. I'm grand. Like I'm doing great.
No,
Oh, is it
I'm doing
not?
fine. Grand is not great. Grand is fine. Grand is the bare minimum.
Really? Oh, I thought it was like
Yeah.
awesome. Like I'm grand. It's like grand, like big, right?
And it's funny because Americans will make the mistake. They say, "Oh, I really like this thing. It's grand." It's not a positive thing in Irish to say it's grand.
It's like it's okay. It's
If it's
fine.
grand, it'll do. It's just okay. It's fine.
Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, so I always thought like Al was being so enthusiastic. I'll have to like mention it to him next time he says it.
No, he's not doing that well. If he says that, funnily enough.
You know, I grew up saying hella as well. But then when I moved to college, I stopped because then I was in Pennsylvania. That's like I mean, I think like it has kind of expanded to all of California now, but it used to be just mostly Northern California. And I remember growing up, like people from Southern California would like make
Yeah.
fun of like the Bay Area people for saying hella. Because like hella is, it means like, it can mean like very, or also like a lot of. Like, so I think people are more used to maybe hearing, I don't know, it's hella cold, it's hella good. It's like it's very good, it's very cold.
Yeah.
But this actually now it sounds terrible to me now that I haven't used it anymore. But you would even say there were hella people at the party, which is just terrible.
It
Like there
makes
were
me
hella.
think of Gwen Stefani. Didn't she have a song with Hella somewhere in it? She's very Californian.
Maybe,
She's a lot
yeah,
of slang and all that songs.
yeah.
Hella
I mean,
cool or something. I don't know.
hella. Yeah, and as you said, you know, a lot of kind of American slang it does originate in California because of TV, and then TV kind of also expands to the rest of the country. I mean, dude, which is a really big one. I mean, that is also from California, but nowadays, I mean, dude is all over.
Yeah, yeah, and kind of gender neutral now.
Yeah. So, uh, and Giuseppe, welcome to our webinar. So let's see. Hey, how's she coming? There you go. Perfect.
Somebody
Uh,
like that one.
to side to sore eye. What is that? Is that also like an Irish thing?
It's a pleasure to see you. You're a sight to sore eyes. I think that's
Really?
English. Have you never heard that? It's an idiom. It's I'm happy to see you. Sight is for
Never.
sore eyes. Sight for sore eyes, not to. But yeah, I mean, I
Cool.
wouldn't say it, but it is something people would say.
Johnny, you're teaching me more slang than I'm teaching you. Thank you. Not bad. Same old, same old. Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah, I've been using same old a lot under the quarantine, I
I
think.
was usually going to say same shit, different day. It's like a bit less polite,
Yeah.
but you also
Well,
hear
the thing
that.
about slang is a lot of it is what you might consider a bad language.
Mm.
But I mean, these days, I don't think it's very important either.
Okay, so I'm just gonna move on here, guys, just to make sure we can get through as many of these as possible. So here we have some other adjectives. So when we're describing things, maybe describing how we are, or maybe a movie you've seen, a situation, whatever it is, we got some positive and negative adjectives. Let's try to guess if you think they're positive or negative. Sean, do you want to read the list?
Mm. Bummer, awesome, dodgy, wicked, sucks, sick, brilliant, crap. This can be confusing because some of these, the literal meaning may be negative, but the usage
But the
becomes.
use is exactly, yeah. Some of these are really strange, definitely. But Clara, yeah, you're absolutely right. Bummer is negative. Yeah, bummer, especially if something like is unfortunate. Did you say bummer? Awesome, yeah. I say awesome a lot. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the literal meaning myself, honestly. Is there a literal meaning to bummer? To bum, I guess, or a bum? But then, how does it come to be as bummer origin? Let me
Maybe
see.
you're down on your luck in a bad situation, a bomb, maybe there's a connection there.
It apparently comes from German.
Oh.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it means to take a stroll, to loiter. So it's kind of like when we say like a bum, which is a derogatory term, right, for like maybe like a homeless person. So it's like maybe because if being in that situation is so unfortunate, maybe a bummer. But I'm just guessing here. I'm really not sure. But that's the thing with slang as well. We don't always really need to understand like the origin of it. I mean, most of these we don't even know. It's just more about using it.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have, let's see, we dodgy. Did anyone give us dodgy? Yeah, dodgy is negative. Perfect. I personally say shady instead of dodgy, though I understand dodgy.
Yeah,
Suspicious,
I would.
dangerous.
Yeah, I would use dodgy. Dodgy is very kind of UK and Ireland. Now, for me, shady, has taken on this kind of new implication with the way the gay community uses it, where it's
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
true
be
because yeah,
scathing.
yeah, because in the gay community, shady is like yeah, someone who like will hate on someone else. Not hate, really. That's a really strong word, but they will like say something mean to someone. So you're shady, throw shade.
Yeah,
But yeah, it comes from. It depends on how you use it, the context. But yeah, it comes from suspicious as well. Dodgy, shady, dangerous, the dodgy situation. Wicked. So some of you said negative, some of you said positive. So wicked, I've never used it myself, but it is a positive one. Like brilliant, right? Great, awesome. All right. Sucks is negative. Good. And yeah, sucks, just to differentiate from these others, most of these are adjectives. Suck we use as a verb, okay? It can mean like the quality of something. I can say this food sucks, as in it's not good. But also in terms of ability, I suck at playing basketball. So I don't have that capacity. I'm not very good at that. The real Slim Shady. There you go, Sergio. Bringing all the right references. Uh, Sick. Yeah, that's an interesting one. So negative, Clara says. Anyone else? Johnny thinks it's positive, and you're absolutely right. It is positive. Very similar to awesome. Sick
yeah.
or ill.
Use
Can I say
ill
ill?
as
You say
well.
ill, yeah. Sick or ill. Like really, really cool. Like, oh, that party was sick. Like it was really cool. Nowadays, though, I feel like instead of sick, people say lit.
Oh yeah, it's lit.
Lit.
Yeah.
That's like very like the last. I don't know. I want to say last. To me, it seems like the last 2 years, or maybe it's been longer than that. Like 5 years. Lit. Like awesome.
Yeah.
More in the context of an event, I feel like, or a situation. A situation is lit. A party is lit. Very fun.
Yeah. Mm.
Like it's on fire almost. On fire is another one.
Mhm.
Oh, you're on fire. This is on fire. Or even just fire, right? This cake is fire.
Yeah, that's a new one. That's
Yeah.
definitely what the kids are saying. I
Yeah.
tend to avoid saying all of these things because I just feel very
You're too
silly.
old.
I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I feel silly when I say them personally,
Yeah.
but they're very used now.
And then brilliant. Yeah, that one's pretty evident. It is. And then crap. So crap is a nicer way of saying shit, basically. And yeah, Johnny, perfect. Negative.
Mm.
Actually, about shit, that's also a good one to talk about because it changes on how you say it. Because if you say something is shit, it's very bad. Okay. I don't know. Again, just go back to the idea. Oh yeah, I made some pasta today, but I didn't like it. It was shit. Like it was very bad. Shitty, kind of bad. Like I am
Mhm.
shitty at Italian, for example, and I'm not very good at Italian. But if you say something is
Mhm.
the shit, that means it's great. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
it's very confusing, I think.
sorry, but it's not the shitty, but the shit. Uh, Sorry, my keyboard's being a bit slow here. The shit. There we go. So yeah, so if you put the, it becomes positive.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's the greatest.
this pasta is the shit. It's the greatest, exactly. So anyway, it's a bit different. So here, let's try to finish these dialogues now. Just we have some different possibilities, by the way. It doesn't have to be the exact one. And if you want to think of different ones as well, just plug them in. Just maybe put the number for us so we know which one you're referring to. And let's see how you play with this new language or anything else you might want to add. Great, Clara. Yeah, you got the job. That's brilliant. That's certainly fine. Let's see another one here. Oh yeah, you got it. Perfect. That's brilliant. I also think brilliant tends to be more, at least sounds more British to me. Brilliant.
Yeah, and I mean, this is really, you could use brilliant in a formal context at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say, see, like Sergio, awesome. Oh, you got the job. That's awesome. That's sick. I mean, the sick if I'm talking to a friend. Mm, so let's see. Two, my girlfriend just broke up with me. That sucks. Nice, Clara, because we need a verb there. That's crap. I believe you're absolutely right. There you go. Um, so I didn't get the job I interviewed for. That's a bummer. Sergio, let's see. Yeah, so sucks. And you can also say that's shit. Yeah, exactly. That's very bad. That's shit. And dodgy. Yeah, good job, guys. The place seemed a bit dodgy, seemed a bit suspicious, a little bit. There's something not right about that place. A bit off. Um, we had the coolest thing just happened. I had coffee with George Clooney. That's so awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Johnny, good job there. Clara, wicked, sick. Yeah. Perfect. Very nicely done. All right, guys, we got about 8 minutes or so. So we're going to just look at some other words here before we finish up. So, Sean, do you want to read the words, and I'll read the definitions. And then you guys just match them.
To have a crush on, to chat up, hot, cheers, to get dumped, robbed, wasted, and mates.
Oh yeah, and I'm supposed to read the definitions. Let's see. When you like a person and want them to become your boyfriend or girlfriend, when a relationship finishes, to flirt and say things to show romantic interest, an adjective to describe an attractive person, friends, thanks, food, and drunk. Uh, So not that one, Clara, but it was gonna be another one for crush. So to chat up, to flirt, exactly.
I personally wouldn't use crush. I would always say fancy, which is, I think, UK and
To
Ireland.
fancy someone.
Yeah, she fancies you. He fancies her.
Ah, yeah, that sounds so. Maybe because the word fancy, it just looks. This seems so elegant to me. Like, oh, I fancy someone. Yeah,
No,
I would say I'd have a
that's
crush.
lower class thing to say. Very wealthy people wouldn't say that.
Okay, so to have a crush on, to like a person, exactly, perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're not really in love, but you just have a crush on them. Oh, yeah, to chat up, that's the one we already did as well. Yeah, I'm such a flirt. Exactly, Johnny. So to get dumped is when a relationship finishes, but not in a good way at all. Like if you get dumped, it's like the person broke up with you, usually in a pretty bad way. Like you got dumped. Like they just, all right, I'm done.
Mm.
Get dumped. Okay, so we do have to go in order because otherwise it will not. But I guess okay, hot. That's you guys probably know that one, of course. Yeah, just say someone is really attractive, hot. Cheers, exactly. That means thanks. To get dumped. Yep, when a relationship finishes. Yep, perfect. Grub. Guess you guys would say especially like pub grub, right? So like food you get in the pub.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's quite English, but yeah, they say
Ah, it's more
pub
English.
grub.
Okay, pub grub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing with English and Irish things. Sometimes for both of us, sometimes for one of us. There's no way of knowing.
And then wasted, exactly. It means like very drunk. And then mates, friends, exactly. Yeah, mate is used quite a bit, I feel like, in England and Australia as well. It's very, very much
Mhm.
used. Mate. Whereas
Yeah.
I would only use it if it's like a classmate or something like that. I wouldn't use it as an
Mm.
expression, really.
No, and certainly the way that I think English and Australian people use it, it's not just with a friend. It's just like, "How are you, mate?" You know, it's like it could be anyone. It could be someone you barely know. It could be a stranger.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, guys. Well, we only got a couple minutes left, so I guess we're gonna do just a full review of everything. Make sure all is clear. If you do have any questions, anything that isn't clear, let us know. Okay, in the questions, we still got a couple. Um, let's see. Clara says
Wow.
it's pissed off. An alternative to mean wasted. I think
No.
pissed, right?
Yes, important. I'm pissed off. I'm irritated. I'm annoyed at you or the world. I would say this a lot. And also, I would say I'm pissed, which means I'm drunk. So it's all in the preposition. So
Yeah,
I'm pissed, drunk, I'm pissed off, irritated.
yeah. Though for me, I pissed means irritated. I don't necessarily need the off. I can just say I'm pissed means I'm irritated, and it wouldn't mean wasted. Most people in America, I know it because I've been living here for a while, so I've been more exposed to this. But yeah, if you say to someone in the U.S. that you're pissed, they would think you're angry. They would never think you're drunk. Wasted is more like it. I'm wasted,
Mm,
or I'm shit faced, like you're really, really drunk. Yeah.
mm.
Okay, yeah. Any other questions, just let us know. Okay, guys. So, just very briefly here. So, we talked about some greetings and responses. So, just a reminder when people say what's up to you, we're not really asking necessarily how you are, but more what's new. So, in that case, you can just say nothing much or same old if there's nothing happening. Or you can also just reply with that what's up as well. It's fine because a lot of the times we don't really mean the question itself. It's more of a greeting. Then we looked at some slang adjectives here, except sucks. That's not an adjective, it's a verb. And yeah, you can see them all here. I think that's pretty self-evident. Or dodgy can also be shady, which means suspicious or dangerous. And then we had looked at these expressions here. Okay, I think, yeah, that's all pretty clear if you just look at the definitions there. So yeah, let us know any final questions then. Anything else we should add, Sean, before we wrap up?
One thing I would say, just maybe try and understand this rather than use it, because I personally know when I speak with non-native speakers, I'm not expecting them to use slang. I probably won't use much slang. I mean, it's a very ambitious thing, and if maybe you live in a country and you really want to integrate, it's something to think about. But if you're just speaking it in Italy, in a general context, don't worry about it. It's interesting, but I mean, certainly if you said to Thiago how she cooked, he wouldn't know what you
I
were
would have
talking
no
about.
idea. Yeah.
So just be a bit careful. Don't try and use them all the time, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, and one actually last thing that just came to mind. And by the way, tomorrow we will be doing an event that you guys can join on YouTube. It's from 11 to 1 p.m. And we'll be talking about different ways of practicing and learning English during the lockdown. And one of the things that I'll be talking about is in terms of movies and how to watch, how to use like Netflix and like streaming services to improve your English. And one of the resources that I'll tell you guys about now, but you're welcome to join tomorrow. We'll talk about it better. Is this website called Play Phrase Me? There's also an app. And if there's ever an expression that, see, especially with slang, because as we said before, tone is really important. It's really good for you to see what kind of context and how it's used. If you go to Play Phrase Me, you can type any phrase, any word, anything you want, and it searches a database of scenes from movies and TV shows. And you can just listen to it. So if you put, for example, the word wasted, it will find maybe 500 scenes in which the word wasted was used, and they just show that scene, next scene, next scene, next scene. So if you just sit there for like 30 seconds, you can watch several scenes in which it's used, and then you can see the tone, how they're using it, what the context is, and it should be helpful in that regard as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So that's all we have for today. Thank you all. And again, we do have the event tomorrow. So 11 to 1. So it's on one of the YouTube channels. I don't remember exactly which one right now, but if you just search, if you just look at the MyS events, and it will be there starting at 11. Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
All right, guys. Bye. Have a good one.
Bye, Thiago.
Bye, Sean.